Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to Let's Try Path of Exile Incursion League. Very quickly, if you don't know what Path of Exile is, it is an action RPG. Where the hell did that Orbit Transmute come from? Oh, maybe my trap popped a little chest or something. Sorry, I get easily distracted while playing Poe. Poe is an action RPG very similar to things like Diablo, for example. It is 100% free to play. The only microtransactions are cosmetic, plus some quality life stuff like a bigger stash. The Incursion League is the current 3-month challenge league, and every one of the challenge leagues adds some new and interesting little sub-mechanic to fiddle around with. And this one has been excellent. Everyone online keeps messaging me to say, oh my god, these are all fantastic, and I'm having so much fun with it. And just generally everyone's really pleased. And now those of you who know me know that I love Arc as a spell. It's super fun, and I've never done a trap build, and I kept meaning to do it, especially with 3.3 changing the trap mechanic. And people on Twitter told me, hey, you know what's really good right now? Arc trap. So that's what my build is. All right, that should address most of the questions. So what's the deal with Incursion? Well, Alva over here, who's actually quite cool, I like the personality, the voice acting, everything works out really well there. Is trying to find her way to the lost temple of Atzoat over here. And what she has determined is the best way to discover this temple is to build a time machine. Basically, she has a way to send me back to the past, 2,000 years ago when the temple was being built. And the idea is to go there and to search for clues so that we can find its present-day location. Each one of these little temporary little time travels to the past lasts very, very little time. You actually have a 10-second timer. It does get extended by killing things, though, so generally speaking, I don't know, about a minute worth of stuff or something like that. Each one of those is called an incursion. You have to do 11 incursions, at which point you will be able to go to the real true temple in present day. But one of the cool twists is when you do this incursion, you're going back in the past, and you can change things in the past that will affect the temple today when you go and do a full run. So doing a full run of this is equivalent to, I don't know, going through a couple of zones in the regular game, basically. You're going to be going through all these rooms. All these rooms are fairly small-ish, but altogether it becomes quite big. You're trying to get to the apex over here, which is where the boss is. But yeah, when you go back on an incursion, you're just going to go to one of the rooms. So for this incursion, and it's randomly chosen where you go, I'm going to be going to this automaton lab over here. And all I have to do is go and then pop out, and then that counts as the incursion and can progress forward. But what I want to do is try to kill as much stuff there as possible, because the stuff you kill doesn't drop anything, with one exception. But when you pop back out of the incursion, you get loot based on how much stuff you killed. So the more stuff you killed, the more loot you get, and it can be quite good. And I've gotten a couple of uniques from one run, things like that. So it's a pretty nice way to get some material. But you really do have a couple of other sub-goals. First of all, each one of these rooms has multiple exits from it, and these may or may not be open when you start this whole incursion system. This room here, the automaton lab, it so happens that all 3 of the doors are open, but sometimes some of them won't be. For example, the Defense Research Lab here, this spot here, can have up to 6 connections, right? It can connect to all 6 of the rooms adjacent to it. But clearly, as you can see, only 1, 2, 3 of these connections are currently open. And in fact, at the start, there's probably not a way to get from the entrance to the apex. So one of the things you're going to be doing when doing these runs is trying to open those doors. And the one thing that drops in these incursion runs is an item, and I can't see the item now. I think it's Stone of Opening is what it's called. It's an item that can drop from some of the monsters that will let you open a door. Sometimes you'll get more than one drop, although depending on your time that you've got, it can be very tight to do it all. And then finally, in each room, there are 2 architects fighting over the design of the room, each trying to put their vision onto the room. And what you can do is you can kill one. You can only kill one of them. Once you kill one, the other one goes away. But by killing one, you allow the surviving architect to impose his vision onto the room, and you affect what it will become when you do your real run. So right now, this is an automaton lab. One of these 2 fellas over here, so if I kill him, so upgrade, right, so it's confusing. Okay, this fella here, Cinta, wants to upgrade the automaton lab to the next level. So if I kill his rival, if I kill Paquat over here, then that will allow him to upgrade the automaton lab to the hybridization chamber. So killing this guy will cause this room to become upgraded to tier 3 with some more stuff. On the other hand, if I kill this guy, the Architect of the Swarm, then that will allow his rival, this Pequot, Architect of Corruption, to instead change the room to a corruption chamber over here. It's a little inverted when you're reading it here and I'm trying to explain, but basically, kill this dude to upgrade, kill this dude to swap to a corruption chamber. Upgrading does make the run later on harder because the enemies will get more and more and more buffs. On the other hand, upgrading tends to give you much more fat loot. So my goal will be to kill this upgrade dude. He'll actually show up on the minimap as this up arrow. So they're either the two swappy arrows or the up arrow. The chasm is an example of a completely vanilla room that hasn't been modified to anything. So if you were to do a run in the chasm, you'd get two of these swappy dudes. You'd kill one and that would set what the room becomes at that point. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and enter the incursion. Alva will go and set things up on her time portal. I do recommend you have full Quicksilver charges going into this because time is of the essence. But one important thing is when you warp in, you do have a grace period. You can take a second to think, figure out what you're going to do, and then move forward. And you're going to want to kill things pretty quickly to increase your timer, while also perhaps moving towards the person you want to kill, which is, for me, is this fella over here. Done and done. And then after that, it's just about trying to get as many kills as possible. Again, more loot. It also extends the time that you can spend in here and makes it easier for you to find the stone of opening, or whatever it's called, to open doors. Not that we have to do that. Here, I'm just looking to ideally try to wipe out everything. Oh, I have wiped out everything. Okay, good. Some rooms are way more awkward to run around in than others. This one here was pretty open and pretty easy to work out, although I suppose that it could have gone badly. I'm going to let the timer out, although I suppose I could just run through the time portal. Either way, that ends the run, and then you get all your loot at that point. Alright, well, nothing stupendous this time around, but that's okay. I don't even know if I'll bother picking up this stuff, because now, so you do this, you get some feedback, what happened? Metal and insect combination. This is fine. So now this has become a level 3 room, the hybridization chamber. As far as I know, level 3 is the max. That's all I've seen, but maybe I'm just incompetent. And yeah, luckily every room is currently connected. Although the cellar and the chasm's probably not worth checking out because I don't think there'd be much meaningful loot. I will try to go around and make sure to hit this vault. It's got some currency items. It's only level 1, unfortunately. Couldn't get it very high. But some of these, yeah, like vaults just give you more money, which is great. Whereas like the factory isn't going to increase the life of the boss, the Omnitech over here, but also increases item yield at the temple. So anyway, that's the end of that. So now if I talk to her, we will now open the temple and go out over there. And hopefully I don't screw it up too badly. This works similarly to map mechanics, where you've got these 6 portals. Entering this consumes the portal. If you've got a party of, if you had a party of 6, then literally each person would use 1 portal and that would be it. But so we can go back and forth a bit. Alva is going to come with me. She does fight, but I don't think she does much damage, although she's also not that squishy as far as I can tell. But will give us a buff as we move forward here. I think it's a buff that renews every time you enter a new chamber or something like that. That increases the loot drops a lot. Oh, I just leveled up. Okay. Well, I should probably go and spend that before I keep going here. My build, nothing particularly exciting. Just basically grabbing everything that increases trap damage, everything that increases crit, because one of the things with Arc that's nice is doing a lot of critting, because then you spam the shock buff, which increases damage that, or it's shock debuff, I should say, increases the damage that your targets take by, I think, 20%, so it's quite good. It'll also trigger the Herald of Thunder that I've got running here to start going and zapping people for even more extra damage. So we're in here. If I hit tab and you look on the right hand side, you can see the unique boss has more life. We have increased monster variety. There are temporal incursions, greater quantity of items, and increased pack size for monsters. That's as a result of the room upgrades that I did. And holy cow, I gotta talk less, focus more on moving. All right, do a little bit of that, do a little bit of that. I'm gonna grab that just so that I can do some more enchanting games and try to find the ideal Quicksilver, which I think right now the one I've got has increased movement, but it's maybe not what I want. I want a minute to breathe. Okay, so I can upgrade you. I'm still getting attacked, or I'm sitting in poison. Stop hurting me. Okay, I'm going over here. Yeah, I've grabbed that. I want to get new, not this. There's something. I'm probably going to go mine over. Oh, right. I'm finishing quick recovery over here for more life and some mana regen. Lightning Pen is good, because I am going to want to reserve some more mana from my mana pool. which really makes, like, mana potions not do much. So right now, I'm in the entrance. You can actually see a little ticky here. We know that the entrance to the Poison Garden is towards the right, so I'm in the wrong area, but I want to showcase a door that is not open. This door is not open. One of the upgrades you can do to a room, though, is like an explosives research lab or something like that, and if you have that, you can grab explosive barrels from there. I think you get one for... Oh, yeah, trap room, clearly. One for a level... Wow, one building, 2 in level 2, and presumably 3 in a level 3. I've never got one up to a level 3, because I've focused on other things, but... and those explosive barrels can be used to open doors on the fly. So if you kind of screwed up and you're maybe not going to get a path to the end boss, you might be able to instead develop an explosive room and get you another way in. Oh, here's one of the architects that I never did kill in the past, so we'll just kill him now. Apparently he's very old, so... Prophecy complete. Really? Oh, there we go, the scouring. Excellent. Ow. It's hard to read and talk and not die all at the same time. You can see Alva running around there, and yeah, here's her buff. You have increased quantity and rarity of items found. And I don't know if she can die. I don't know if it goes away. Actually, haven't explored that aspect enough. I'm probably going to leave most of the loot behind here. Whoa! I am... Okay, Ow. I'm not capped in all my resistances. I was, but there's the whole, you know, axe that reduce your defensiveness. Son of a bitch. And I'm out of healing flasks. Am I just gonna die here? Not quite, but almost. Wow, that is really poorly handled. A lot of spell damage and some crit. I may have to check to see how that works. Sorry, I may just need to pay a little attention, because this is the hybridization chamber, level 3. So let's see what the experimental chest gives us. Royal Scepter of whatever. The loot filter I've got really emphasizes those drops, but it's like, I don't get it. Why? What's the deal? I mean, maybe maybe it has like a really high level and rare buff that would be hard to get otherwise. And it specifically has a minion related one, which just room is themed for. So I guess at level 3, you can get maybe a specific magic item, not rare, I guess, but specific magic item that's got a trait that you could maybe tune to something, and then use an item to turn it into maybe a rare for, like, real late-gamey stuff. I don't know. There's probably some sort of mechanic for that that I hadn't quite clued into until now. Ow, 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 ow. I should just teleport through this stuff. Apparently I didn't get through that one in time. Or that one, but... Can I dodge the damage? Yeah, okay. Sorry, this is being very incompetent, I admit. And what I might do here... Why are things being identified? That one of the... I don't know. I'm leveling up Ball Lightning. I might use a secondary attack of some kind. I don't know what all my slots will be. I have my my 4-link sort of cast on damage taken set up with spectral chains or temporal chains. Actually, I don't know if cursing people with conductivity be better. Now, I don't have anything that's going to let me have multiple curses, so I don't think I can do conductivity and temp chains or something like that. Because I think by default you can only curse people one time, right? Okay, so that's another locked door. So what room am I in now? Oh, I made it into the cellar. That was a mistake. I want to go back, because the cellar's probably not going to have anything terribly interesting. I mean, you know, anything can be a drop, I suppose. It's like... Where the hell... Where'd you go? Wow, that's really annoying. I suppose it's like doing maps, where there's... always, you know, that there can be more stuff, so... Oh, I can't blink through there because it's diagonal. Okay, there we go. Or the line of sight was blocking me. Ow. Okay, too many traps. This is very annoying. What am I doing, the labyrinth? Oh! No, get away from the spikes. Yeah, see, this is what I get for not actually talking, or not actually paying attention while I talk. We're gonna put a cut in here so that I can go and do this labyrinth with full attention and focus, and or not labyrinth, but map with full attention and focus, so that I don't die a bunch more. Grr. No, not that helpful. Increase elemental damage with attack skill. Oh, no, that's not relevant to me. But yeah, not being maxed out here is certainly hurting a bit. So, all right, thank you very much for watching. There's a quick look at the Incursion League for Path of Exile. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.